This video is to help protect yourself and your client when delivering care in the home setting. It can be used by nurses and other support staff and can be used by home care, public health, or any other healthcare provider that does home visits. If you are wearing gloves, your gloves should be removed or changed after the task you needed gloves for if they become visibly soiled, after interacting with the client, and before leaving the residence. Gloves should never be worn outside a client's residence, in apartment hallways, elevators, stairwells, or common areas. Medical gloves should never be worn when traveling between client residences. Gloves get just as contaminated as hands. Medical gloves can never be cleaned, but hands can with hand hygiene. To remove gloves, use glove-to-glove, skin-to-skin technique by grasping at the palm and removing the first glove, pulling the glove inside out. Hold the glove that was removed in the hand that is still gloved. Scoop under the cuff of the second glove with bare fingers and remove the second glove by pulling it inside out over the first glove. Place the gloves in the garbage. Perform hand hygiene. After you have removed your gloves and performed hand hygiene, remove your gown before leaving the client's residence. If your gown has become soiled before the end of your visit, you must remove your gloves, do hand hygiene, remove your gown, and perform hand hygiene again. If you still need a gown, put a clean one on. If you still need gloves, put on a new set of gloves. To remove your gown, untie at the neck, then at your waist. If using an overhead gown, gently pull apart perforated edges of gown at the back of the neck, then untie at the waist. Scoop fingers under cuff of one sleeve, then pull sleeve over one hand. Use gown-covered hand to pull gown over the other hand. Pull off without touching the outside of the gown. Roll gown inside out, holding the gown away from your body. Place the gown in the garbage. Take client's garbage and dispose in the appropriate area. Perform hand hygiene. After removing the gown and performing hand hygiene, you can prepare to leave the residence. Put away your indoor shoes and put on your outdoor shoes or boots. Open the bag that contains your coat, then perform hand hygiene. Remove your coat from the bag. Put your coat on and then discard the bag in a garbage bin nearby or place it in the bag that contains your shoes. If you are not wearing your mask and eye protection to your next visit, don't put on your winter gloves or mitts yet. Once you are out of the client's residence, you can remove your eye protection or face shield if needed. Another option is to continue to wear your eye protection or face shield to your next visit. You should perform hand hygiene before you remove, clean, and disinfect your eye or face shield at break, end of shift, when driving, or when they are visibly soiled. After you have performed hand hygiene, remove your eye protection using the arms or straps. If your face shield is not reusable, throw it away. Inspect your eye protection for signs of soiling or damage. If eye protection is visibly soiled, the lens is discarded and frame disinfected with a facility-approved disinfectant. If eye protection is not visibly soiled, the lens and frame are cleaned and disinfected with a facility-approved disinfectant. See the Standard Operating Procedure, or SOP, for disinfecting eye protection on the Shared Health PPE webpage for more details. Perform hand hygiene. Find a flat surface that can be wiped clean with a disinfectant wipe, like a table, counter, or binder on your lap. You can do this process in your car, a lobby area, or break room in a block care building. Do not disinfect your lens and frame in the client's residence. Use one facility-approved disinfectant wipe to clean the surface. Discard the wipe and put 2 disinfectant wipes down on the surface. Remove the lens from the frame and place it on the disinfectant wipes. Clean and disinfect the frame using a facility-approved disinfectant wipe, then hold the frame in the air, allowing the necessary contact time for disinfection. Allow to air dry before reusing. Securely store the frame in a way it won't be contaminated or tampered with, for example in a Ziploc bag labeled with your name. Return to the lens placed on the disinfectant wipes. Wipe all surfaces of the lens. Flip the lens. Wipe all surfaces of the lens. Allow the lens to sit on the wipes until the disinfectant wet contact time has been reached. Ensure the lens is dry and securely store the eye protection in a way that it won't be contaminated or tampered with, for example in a Ziploc bag in your supply bag. Perform hand hygiene. What can you do if you don't have a surface to clean your lens on? When you remove your eye protection, you can remove the lens and throw it away, disinfect the frame and store it to use it again. Use a new lens on your next visit. Remove your lens and save it in a separate Ziploc-style bag to disinfect on your break when you have access to a sturdy flat surface like a table, counter, or binder on your lap. Disinfect your frame and store it in a bag separate from the used frames. Use a new lens or disinfected lens on your next visit. You can also save your lenses in a Ziploc-style bag and return them to the office for disinfection. Do not disinfect your frame or lens in a client's residence. All staff should be following the extended use guidelines for use of masks. For example, if working in a green zone residence, you may extend or reuse your mask for your next visit. If you are leaving an orange or red zone, the mask can continue to be worn to your next visit, but cannot be stored for reuse. For a meal break in any zone, discard your mask and put on a new one for your next visit. Please check the Shared Health PPE webpage for more details. Bring out your paper bag or paper envelope from your supply bag. When the mask is removed, inspect it. If your mask is wet, damaged, or visibly soiled, remove it and discard. Perform hand hygiene. If your mask is clean, dry, and intact, store the mask in a paper bag or paper envelope by folding it in half, outside side in, using the loops, ties, or the very edges of the mask. Keep the mask ties out of the bag. If using a mask with loops, place the loops inside the bag. Make sure your paper bag is safely stored to avoid bending or crushing. Perform hand hygiene. You can also continue to wear your mask while driving. Congratulations, you have safely removed your PPE. If using an N95 respirator, remove the respirator using the loops and discard. Each respirator may vary slightly in the steps for removal. Please familiarize yourself with the instructions for the brand you are fit tested for. Throw out the bag and perform hand hygiene. For more information, refer to the guidance on the removal, storage, and extended wear of medical face masks in green zones, as well as the COVID-19 Personal Protective Equipment Supply Management and Stewardship Planning and Guidance Framework on the Shared Health website.